maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't think people are interpreting John Jones's tweets the way I think they should be interpreted, right? Because in my opinion, I genuinely think that John Jones isn't saying he's not going to fight Tom Aspinall, and let me try and explain why I say that. So people are going off of the tweets that John Jones said, obviously after the video of him speaking to someone who was like telling him, no, you still have like 10 years in you and everything, or something to that effect. And then John Jones was like, nah, I'm done. So people are taking that as him saying, no, I'm retired. No, he never said that. I think he would have actually even used those words in order to say he's retired, right? So my personal take is that he is saying, I only have one fight in me and then I'm retired, right? And then he went on to tweet a couple of different tweets. I'm sure it's all over the place. I'm not going to even repeat that. I'm going to highlight the most important aspect of his tweet, which was when a fan was basically pressing him about vacating the belt. He was like, he already told the UFC his plans or his intentions or something like that, and he's not sure why the UFC have not told us, right? And when you combine that with the fact that Dana White has been saying the fight will be announced, I know that Dana White has lied a lot in the past, but historically, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I haven't been paying too much attention, but historically the UFC will only lie about a fight that they potentially think is going to happen. If they are not sure that that fight might potentially happen, they will probably keep quiet about it. Like for example, Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor last year at International Fight Week. When there were complications around that fight, they kept quiet about it, right? They didn't mention anything up until they had a replacement. UFC 300, they didn't have a main event and they waited up until the last moment in order to announce it. This year, they didn't announce it. They didn't say anything. Like they refused to announce anything up until the last minute, where they basically said that the outcome of UFC 315 will determine the main event of International Fight Week. So for me personally, I genuinely think the UFC, it's highly possible. And I know a lot of people, especially people like MMA Guru, who is like, nah, they're just holding on to this idea to so that they can get a better deal. But I don't think that's how business works, man. Like you can't, let's say for example the UFC is planning to sign with Netflix. Do you think Netflix is going to be like, okay, the Jon Jones fight fell off, it's fine, when it was the most integral part of their negotiation? I don't think Netflix is that stupid, guys. So for me personally, I don't agree with what MMA Guru is saying, in saying whether the UFC is basically lying in order to get a better deal with Netflix, because as a business, like, or rather as a person who's in the legal field, that's going to impact the validity of their contract if they are lying about the existence of a fight that's not there, right? So for me personally, I think he is actually getting it confused, because I think the fight exists. They are using it to get better deals, whether they end up re-signing with ESPN or they go to Netflix. It doesn't really matter. But I think they're using the Jon Jones fight in order to get like a better deal with whatever platform that they're going to go to. I think the fight is finalized, and that's why Dana White has been saying, I'll announce it too. That's basically what I think. That's honestly my take. I think Jon Jones would have actually outrightly said he's retiring if that was what he was saying. If ever Jones was retiring, he wouldn't need the UFC to relay his intentions to us, right? He can just say, I told the UFC that they can take the belt, or I told the UFC I'm done with fighting. He wouldn't have said, I told the UFC my intentions or my plans. I don't know why they haven't told you guys. I think that's a different statement, especially considering people are saying that's him saying he's retiring. So for me personally, I don't think that's a statement of him saying he's retiring. It's just saying, well, we agreed. I don't know why they haven't told you guys. That's how I took it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess we'll just find out as time progresses.